joy, 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 rejoice. Joy in Meher Baba's choice of my soul in his plan. On his truth I take my stand. Joy and truth are how I grow. Joy and truth are how I know. What I reap is what I sow. So joy and truth from head to toe. And joy, 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 rejoice. Joy in Meher Baba's choice of my heart in his love. Endless like the sky above. Joy and love are how I see with my heart fearlessly. Joy and love help me be what I am essentially. And joy, 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 rejoice. Joy in Meher Baba's choice of my mind in his game, calling out his holy name. Joy in mine bring clarity. Joy in mine help me free. What I have is made to see God's holy light inside of me. And joy, 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 rejoice. Joy in Meher Baba's choice of my soul, of my form in his play. How selfless serving day by day. Joy and form are why I dance. Joy and form are why I chance to ever catch my beloved's glance, and in that look find true romance. And joy, 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 rejoice. Joy in Meher Baba's choice of my soul in his plan. On his truth I take my stand. On his truth I take my stand. On his truth I take my joy, 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 rejoice.
That was perfect. So all along you knew about original sound.
Well, it's somewhere, because of having trouble some months ago with this thing, I went into Zoom and I found somewhere you could plug it up into the corner.
Yeah. That's
But
what I was going to show you how to do.
yeah, well,
But you already have it.
I had it, but I didn't have it in, I didn't have it plugged in right. I didn't have it turned on right.
Yes, must have it turned on. It makes a big difference.
Good. Beautiful.
Oh, thank
Beautiful song.
you. Thank you.
Looks like we got Karen St. John here from Maribel.
Yeah, hey, Karen.
She's hiding in the shadows.
Yep. Sometimes people are logged on, but they're not
Babs
actually
from
here.
Costa Rica.
Yay, Babs.
Hi guys, it's Karen.
Yeah.
She is here.
I'm listening.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but my video isn't working. My signal is awful, but I'm hearing everything beautifully.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's so sweet to be here this morning with you. Beautiful. Thank you, Baba.
Yeah.
Yay. Well, we love having you here. And we hear you crystal clear, too.
Oh, isn't this amazing? Look what
Amazing.
Baba's created, this avataric advent.
It is amazing. What amazing technology.
Yeah. Yeah.
Karen, have you got a Baba quote for us just by chance?
You know what comes to mind, because I've been thinking a lot about Roshan, Sam, Carawala, Mara, Dali. Is the Zoroastrian prayer. So, but I,
One names of God or that one?
no, this one is the one that Roshan used to sing in Gujarati at Arti. And, but I only know the English translation. Let's see if I can remember it. I begin my prayer by invoking the name of Yeza, the Lord of creation, Ahura Mazda, thou who art the source of all light, and thou who art all effulgence and all knowing, the Lord of lords, the King of kings, the creator of all creation, the preserver and protector. O omnipotent, O the ancient one and eternal, thou who art the giver of all boons, and thou who art all mercy and all wisdom, and the source of all purity. O the Lord of creation, Ahura Mazda, I invoke thy name and ask for thy blessings. Let thy will be done and thy justice be administered. O God, Ahura Mazda. Jai Baba.
Beautiful. Wow.
Baba said that was a prayer that included the gist of all prayers. And it's from the Avesta, the Zoroastrian prayer book.
Yeah. Yeah, she used to sing that at the tomb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've,
Somebody, Anna Lovell put this quote on a Facebook page, a Bible Facebook page. I'd like to just read it. It says, once the storm is over, you won't remember how you made it through, how you managed to survive. You won't even be sure the storm is really over. But one thing is certain, when you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. And that is what this storm is about. And that's a quote from Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami.
Mm-hmm.
No, Haruki, but sounds good.
I got to go into work. Into the center, but I'll try to remember all the names that are here and in the lagoon cabin.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah.
And Tim was very thrilled that you told that story.
Yeah, we were all roommates.
You were, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
so Jeff,
Yeah.
I'm going to make a request.
Yeah.
Can you say a special prayer or remember Amara Carawala?
You mean, did she pass on?
No. But she did have a major problem yesterday. So,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So that would be wonderful if you could do that.
Yikes, you mean make up a spontaneous prayer? Or, I don't know, if most of you know Roshan and Sam Carawala's daughter, Mara. She grew up with Baba. Erich was her, really she looked on Erich as her uncle. Baba had said, it seemed to be indicated that she had been, who was it, Carawala, in her last life. Baba said, didn't, not Sam Carawalla, that's her father. Who's the guy that was, well, anyway, he was a very prominent person. Anyway, so yeah, let's, so Mara, send so much love. You've been through so much. You've seen your father and mother pass on, and you were such a light in Mandalay Hall, helping to translate for the Indian people, or even for the Westerners, since you knew so many languages. So send Baba's love to you, to flood your heart, and be with you, and again, we send all of our love and embrace to you.
Jai Baba. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Baba.
Yeah, she had a serious stroke. One day
Yeah.
we were with her, and she was active in Mandalay Hall, and then surprising stroke that changed her whole life. And she's battled
Yeah.
on, a real soldier.
Terrific soldier and a lot of inspiration for so many people. So I'll just share this. What happened was she had another major stroke. But the families had decided yesterday that she have an operation, so she came through that fine. So, but we don't know. It'll be probably 48 hours. Thank you, everybody. So special.
Who was the one that Baba said she had been in the past? It's a
I don't
farewell.
remember. Yeah, I don't remember unless it was Uncle.
Papa Jesawala?
No.
It was it's just not coming to me, but he was kind of the district head or something in some area, one of the states of India. So whenever Baba came into that area, he would make all the arrangements for him, sometimes extraordinary arrangements.
Yeah.
He was related to Erich and Sam and all of them. They were, golly, was it
I know. His name is on the tip of my tongue, too. I guess.
I get it. Anyway.
Yeah. But she has had quite a long travail. I think the last 5 years she's been a soldier of Baba's, no doubt. We always thought she was the strongest of people at Marazad because she would always carry the projects and she would translate for everybody, and any kind of problems that would come up with the local people, she would mediate. And also she took care of Merwan for many years. But now what we see is her incredible tenacity to just keep going with a life that a lot of people would be so depressed with, and has stayed joyful. It's just amazing to see, and it's really Baba's legacy to her, I suppose, and maybe his work with her now that she must bear some of this. Well, we don't know for sure, but anyway, I know she has received your prayer, and just Please remember her when you go in the lagoon cabin. I wasn't really asking for a prayer, but that
Well,
was
I'm
so
on my way there.
sweetly spontaneous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's getting it from here, from the Samadhi too, so.
Hey,
All
Karen, you know,
hearts.
you spent a lot of time with Merwan Jesawala Erich's brother at the end, and I can't remember quite well enough, but how he described the world today, or is that kind of for public consumption, would you say?
Sure. I mean, I think he wanted people to know that the worst was yet to come, and this was back in 2014, maybe.
Hmm.
I heard him say things like, I would just comment on what's going on in the world and how people are fighting each other and how there's seems to be such a chaotic situation in the world. And he kept saying, every time that would come up, he would say, oh, you haven't seen anything yet. Just, prepare yourselves. But at the same time, enjoy what you have right now and thank God for it, because what is coming will be very, very difficult. But he said, all those who know Baba and hold on to him will see his glory in it all. He talked about a great darkness coming, and to say his name for the whole world, constantly say his name until it becomes such a habit that it's like our breath and we don't even have an awareness of it anymore. And he was very clear that we must put Mayor Baba first and not get distracted with all these other things. That's just what I can remember off the top of my
I
poor
remember
memory.
I remember him saying that he was seeing a dark pit of the world, and that he would go down into this pit only so far as he could still see the light at will, see Baba's light at will. And
Uh-huh.
he would say this, and this is before what we're going through now, and I said, you know, Marilyn, I believe you, but I'm not seeing it myself. But
Uh-huh.
he must have been seeing this whole situation among other things. You know,
Yeah.
as
I remember him referring to the dark pit is as, these walks with him were just so precious because, and I know you did them too, Jeff, but that he would reminisce, but he would also talk about what he experienced. And he said, we are in such a veiled condition that it's like we're in a very dark pit. It's deep and it's wide, and it is so dark that we cannot see anything except this one ray of light that comes through, and it's penetrating our darkness, and that light is Baba in our lives. And what we do is we reach toward that light with all of our spirit. And eventually, what we try to do is climb out of that pit, but it takes Baba's grace to do that. And he would just laugh and say, but don't take this too seriously. Take it all lightly.
Yeah.
But what I got was he was referring to all of our impressions that were veiling us from the light of God. And I asked him if he was experiencing anything like that, or if his experience was all Baba's light. And he laughed and said, "Oh, I'm still in that pit too." So,
When he was a young boy, Baba used to point to him and say, "See that little boy over there? He's a saint."
yeah,
This is, you know, and he truly, truly was.
it truly was.
He was the and someone came up to him one time, a friend of mine said, "You know, we hear that Baba said that you were a saint."
Mm.
And he said, "What's that experience like?" And he said, um, "My experience is I feel like a cad. I feel like I'm a cad. That's my experience." CAD. You can look it up. I mean, he was like, he wasn't being modest. You know, I
Yeah.
myself as a cad.
So Jeff,
Yeah.
if what you were saying last night about um, everything is us and we are everything. In that regard, it seems like, if you put it all together, we are here now because the darkness is part of us too.
Yeah.
And we have to individually and collectively overcome it.
Yeah. One of the caretakers at the center, he used to quote Baba kind of from time to time, where Baba said, "God realization is the simultaneous experience of the extreme opposites."
Mm.
So we have to cover the whole thing, the whole spectrum. That doesn't mean we behave, we act out the darkness, but we have to experience it.
I wanted to stop the video because I faded about whatever, maybe 30 minutes before you guys quit. I wanted to stop the video and say, wait, Jeff, sorry. Are you saying that I am one with the, criminal and the rapist and the drunkard and the drug addict and the politicians of the world and all of it, and the saints and the sadhus and everything? We're one. I mean, in reality, we are one.
Yeah, I think of it more, they're all inside of us. But like Erich said, Erich used to say, and he would float this by, and he'd kind of float it like a trial balloon, but I would always seize on it. And he would say, "This whole world is yours, but you have to claim it. Through love, you bring what's on the outside inside." For example, if you love birds, and you get to know their names and their songs and their habits and their feeding, eventually the birds are flying around inside of you because of the love. So they are now incorporated in you. And so
What about the other extreme?
you have to take them all in.
Go ahead and say the words.
What's that?
The other extreme, not the pretty birds, but the other extreme.
Yeah.
Awful, ugly, terrible things.
But oddly enough, we have a love that can embrace them. We do have that universal love in us, if we can get to it, to embrace all of these so-called negative characters. We have to do it sooner or later. It's not like you can Yeah, sooner or later we have
11
to
o'clock.
have that love for each one.
Baba, through Norina, said a very interesting phrase which stuck with me, and it was, see the good and see the good in the good and see the good in the bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, you don't look at your dog and say, "Oh, your dog, you don't know anything about spirituality, you know, you don't know how to talk, you can't read books." You don't, you can love that dog for where it is, and you can love the criminals where they are. You may not want to associate with them, I mean, but what I mean is possible to love each one where they are.
And then
Yeah,
you were also suggesting that by even bringing them in, you are helping raise their consciousness. You are, by embracing them inwardly
Hmm.
within yourself, you are actually making a difference in their consciousness.
Yeah, I remember a scene. I don't know if I got this entirely right, but St. Francis, when he began his spiritual life, he was riding along one day and he saw a leper on the side of the road. He was so repulsed by that leper. The moral, he felt so remorseful that he had this reaction that he got down off his horse and went over and kissed the wounds of the leper. And that leper turned into Jesus. And he was, you know, he was protected. But he actually put his life on the line. You know, he did not like the fact that he was repulsed by this fellow human being, that he made himself get down and kiss his wounds, and was surprised that the leper turned into Jesus. He had that depth.
This is Marion. May I make a comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is so, I'm just enthralled listening. And it brought up something that's touched me very deeply in my life that I've had to learn, being a very emotional person and confusing emotions with feelings, and having decades of learning about that and the distinction. And something that Baba said, you know, the highest form of love is right action. It's not about emotional love. And you were telling that story about St. Francis. You know, St. Francis didn't rely on emotion or feeling. It was right action. And that is the highest form of love. And Baba even said, we're not always going to be nonviolent. There are times where we must, if attacked, maybe, you know, fight back, things like that, but never with the hatred. It's that right action, and I've had to learn this, being a very emotional person, that I'm in my highest form of love when I'm in a right action.
Yeah. In fact, I feel, I mean, just my own opinion, that love is even beyond feeling. It expresses itself through our deeper feeling, but it's even beyond it. But that's kind of but it depends on how you define feeling. But a love is kind of beyond. All of our feelings and thoughts and everything are a vehicle for that feeling that comes in from that other dimension. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, when I'm saying right action, I mean what Baba says in the discourses. We're here to balance our head and our heart, with the heart leading the way. And it's not about emotion. It's about right action that comes from that balance, because that is intuition and that is God. That's from the discourse, yes.
Yeah, when love becomes the doer. Uh-oh, my battery is low and I don't have a cord. But I've got to go into work. I should have been in about an hour ago, but this is great hanging out.
Yes. Thank you, everyone.
You make it awesome. Thanks.
Jai Baba, Jeff. Jai
Yeah.
Baba,
Jai Baba.
everyone.
Jai Baba, everyone. I have to go
Jai
too.
Baba.
Bye.
Jeff.
Jai Baba.
Yeah.
Jai
Jai
Baba
Baba.
Jeff. Jai Baba Jeff.
Jai
Yeah.
Baba Nasreen.
Baba.
Yeah. Yeah.
Him.
Julie, are you still there?
Selam Mishnasi.
Let's see if Julie's there.
Julie left, and let's see. She wrote me. She says, when did Hafez start mentioning fearing God? I've never understood that. Do you? And I wish she was here, because my response is Hafez is actually mocking the people who are
Fearing God.
fearing God. He says,
Yeah.
oh, oh, men of religion or something, because that's what they preach. You have to fear God. And he's mocking them.
Yeah. I know that God fearing was, boy, whoever came up with that concept.
Well, it's a good control mechanism.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, well, so long, folks.
All right, Jeff. Good night, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Jeff.
Jai Meher Baba.
And out.